Is it sane? Is it possible? Still I ask myself, are we our game? It's not logical, but you contemplate, are we am I?
Gentlemen, we are absolutely back with more. I gotta raise my seat a little. Hold on. That's a little better. That's a little better. The collar isn't buttoned all the way up, but the suit jacket is on. It's flipped down properly now. We are good to go. It is the Stanley Cup final between the Minnesota Wild and your Toronto Maple Leafs, everybody. Oh, the button's not there. Oh, there it is. How dare you, Pierre-Luc Dubois, who's yelling, "Go Wild." How dare you? How dare you? Game number 4 is the game we have to play. I have to get going here because we only have an hour. We need to see how this thing plays out. I got to turn down penalties, which I've already done. Let me get that on the screen for you there while I grab the controller. Controller is in hand. It was charging. It's still low. I guess I didn't put it charging for long enough, but the other one is also plugged in, so if this one dies, we can always go to the other one. Penalties have been turned down from 3. They were at 3 out of 4 to 1 out of 4 because, oh baby, did penalties ruin the last stream. No, I shouldn't say ruin. They're out of control on the default settings. So we had to turn them down. They're a little too unrealistic when we had more minutes on the board. We're going to 6 minutes. Actually, probably should do 5, 10, 15. So we could probably do 6. Let's do 6 without the penalties. It'll be a lot easier. Also, make sure to set the game to CPU versus CPU. Don't want to give up another free in the first. Thank you, Warrior Womp. Appreciate you being here, Warrior Womp, as always. Ah, the buttons aren't going today. All right, no buttons today. Yeah, no. Oh, Austin's working. Let me just try and hit everything. Oh, Olay's working. Olay's working. That's all we need. All right. Let us head over to the rosters, to the line, so that you know what we are working with. If you have been here before, I sound like a broken record. But if you have not, take a look at what we've done. Steve Dangle's Mighty Roar says, guys, remember when Jesse said 6:30 start? Hey, Steve Dangle's Mighty Roar. I wasn't here at 6:30. I ran in the door because we had to go shoot some stuff that comes out a little later on. So I was busy doing that, and I didn't get home until like 6:40. And then I did the thumbnail, and I scheduled it for 7, and here we are. So, I know what I said, but thank you for the $2, Steve Dangle Mighty Roar. I appreciate it. The lineups: Willie, Matthews, Marner, Kevin LeBanc, Sean Monahan, Matthias Michelli, Callie Yarncroke, Noah Gregor, Kasperi Kapanen, Brett Leeson, Brad Lambert, Jake Neighbors. That is your forward group for the Toronto Maple Leafs. On defense, Morgan Riley and Mo Sider. The Momo pairing on the first line. Cam York and Brett Pesce on the second pairing. Caden Gooley and Brock Faber on the third pairing. It is indeed a Brock Faber revenge series against the Minnesota Wild. And in net, as always, Ilya, steal a game for you, Samsonov. And he's backed up by Joseph Wall. Let's go to the Minnesota Wild's lineup and see who we are up against. The Minnesota Wild are running out there one of the oldest lineups that has ever iced, that a team has ever iced in National Hockey League history. Kirill Kaprizov, Joel Eriksson-Ek, and Matt Boldy round out the 3 youngest players in the entire lineup. Then we have we got a super chat. Let me get to the super chat because it's a good question. Would you get Kapanen also in IRL, in real life? That's from Peacenin number 7. No. I don't believe that Kasperi Kapanen. I think he's past, like, hey, that guy could be good one day. Kasperi Kapanen in real life hasn't reached the potential that he always had, and Kyle Dubas saw in him. He never really achieved it, and I don't think it's there anymore. He is what he is. He's a bottom 6 forward, probably on your 4th line for the rest of his career. Probably on the 3rd line too, but not a top 6 forward. So there's no sense for the Leafs to go after that again. But in the game, Kasperi Kapanen is a very nice piece on this roster. Blake Wheeler, maybe if we had the same roster in real life, I would get Kasperi Kapanen. So maybe yes. Blake Wheeler, Frederick Gaudreau, Andrea Burakovsky. Round out the 3rd line. Did I do the 2nd line? Matt Zuccarello, Marco Rossi, and Ryan Hartman. Cam Atkinson, Marcus Johansson, Max Pacioretty is the 4th line. And on D, Jonas Brodin, Jared Spurgeon, Kalen Addison, Oliver Ekman-Larsson, Dylan Sandberg, and Jeff Petrie himself, the magical Jeff Petrie. In net, Jesper Wallstedt, who is going to try and be a giant Wallstedt tonight for the Minnesota Wild, is backed up by Philip Gustafsson, who is a great goalie who doesn't get to play because Jesper Wallstedt is the starting goaltender. Those are the lines. This is the game. Number 4 of the 2026 Stanley Cup playoffs. The Toronto Maple Leafs are up 2-1 in the series. We are officially 2 wins away from lifting, from hoisting, from finally touching the Stanley Cup. Oh, what a beautiful day it will be if that comes to fruition. The Toronto Marlies also in the Calder Cup final, which is crazy to see. It has not been done many times in the history of hockey that both the NHL team and the AHL team win their championships. It has been done several times by the Montreal Canadiens twice and the New Jersey Devils once. Thank you to the chat who gave me that fun stat last episode. If you have not seen all episodes of our little series we have here called One Since 67, go back, hit the playlist that's in the description right now. Watch all previous episodes of One Since 67. Catch up to see how we got here. Oh, no. Okay, let's not do this again. Yes. Last time I chose a side and I messed up the game. All right. Go back, hit the link in the description to catch up on how we got here to Game 4 of the Stanley Cup Final in Scotiabank Arena. 2 wins away from hoisting the Stanley Cup and finally touching it with our smelly fingers. Thank you, crowd people, for being here. I appreciate all of you.
Crowd people.
I could not ask for a better chat to be spending a Tuesday evening with. You are all very lovely human beings. William Nylander had a chance there out in front, did not take it. Chose not to shoot the puck there, which is one hell of a choice. Hey, the fans are banging on the glass as the puck goes the other way, and the Toronto Maple Leafs take it up the ice. It's William Nylander again dangling. Mo Seider coming up on the rush. Can't get it past Wallstead. Nice shot, though. Good little opportunity there. Stopped again by Wallstead. Kaprizov going the other way. Stopped by Brett Pesce. Monahan to LeBanc. LeBanc out front. Another save by Jesper. And here's Matt Boldy coming down the side of the ice. Stop. Turn the other way. Our second line's out there trying to get something going. Sean Monahan a little too deep. Gets stopped by the goalie, and a long shot on goal there. Also stopped by Wallstead. Ryan Hartman now over to Marco Rossi. Marco Rossi, who's had a decent playoffs for the Minnesota Wild, is working the puck up the ice over our blue line, over his own blue line, and he comes in offsides. Thank you all for being here. Poopy Rad on Twitch says, what is the series at? The series is at 2-1. It is 2-1 in the series. We are in the Stanley Cup Final of the 2026 playoffs. Shots are 6-1. We have started off this game on a very good note. Could not have asked for a better start to this game, except as if we had a goal. Over the chat here for a sec. Mike says their bottom 6 forward group looks better than your bottom 6 forward group, Jesse. I don't believe that. Mike, I don't believe that at all. Our bottom 6 group has been very good these playoffs. I don't know how you can look at like Lambert and Gregor and Kapanen and not say, dang, there's a darn good bottom 6. There's a turnover by Gooley. Over to Burakovsky. Blake Wheeler. Stopped by Sammy. Well done, Sammy. Nice save. Nice save there, Sammy. Love it. Love it. Sean writes in the chat, what's up, man? Hope you're having a great week so far. My week has been fantastic. It's been a good start to the week. It's only 2 days old. That's a good question. Does the week start on Sunday or Monday? I think because the work week's on Monday, weeks kind of start on Mondays, but that's just how I kind of think about it. Week's been good so far. Thanks, Sean, for checking in. Monahan on a partial break, does a little dangle to try and get in front of the goaltender, in front of the defenseman. Can't get by Addison there, who stops him. Brief moment, I thought Monahan had something, but did not. LeBanc here, trying to get something going. Over to Monahan again, who takes a shot, but it's stopped and sent into the corner. Here's Monahan, another shot is stopped by Wallstead. We are definitely firing the shots on goal here today. It's just that we're not getting anything through Wallstead so far. 7 minutes to go here in the first period. Sammy does not cover the puck. A little tricky play there with Morgan Riley, who sends it right back to him, and Sammy does cover the puck. Slow start for both teams. We've had a lot of shots, but nothing really high danger. No goals so far. Last game, we ended up winning 9-5. So there is no shortage of goals there. But here we sit here, 0-0, nearing the end of the first period. Both teams trying to feel each other out. Nobody wants to make a mistake. Minnesota knows they can't go down 3-1, and there's a goal from Austin, your captain, Matthews. Austin Matthews with the goal, and Ole, there it is. Ole is playing. That's a 1-0 lead for your Toronto Maple Leafs. Austin makes it snappy. That's a goal. Leafs up 1-0. What a start. We got a super chat. We got 2 super chats I need to get to, actually. Steve Dangle's Mighty Roar says, feels like a wild blowout today. How dare you? First of all, no. There is not a wild blowout. It is 1-0 for the Leafs as we head to the end of the first period. Second super chat comes from Tim Robichaud. Hey, Jesse, can you explain how gems work? Thanks. Now, do you mean X Factors? Is that what you mean about the gems? Or like the gems in when you're drafting? Here's Brad Lambert on a break. Can't get anything to the goaltender. Jared Spurgeon takes it. Do you mean gems when drafting? Because gems when drafting is, so you'll go to your scouts page and then they'll have little gems there next to some players. And that means that there's a high potential that this player, because they'll be like, oh, chance in front. There'll be a chance where it's like, okay, this player, you can take him in the 3rd round and he's a gem. But his potential is going to be like a late 1st rounder or like a mid-tier 2nd rounder. So you're gonna draft him at that 3rd, and your scouts are telling you, hey, pick this player because he's going to be a diamond in the rough when you draft him in the draft. That's how the gems work in the game. We have ended the first period, and if you're talking about X Factors, the X Factors are just like special skills that star players have. If you're talking about the X Factor players and these guys who have these special little skills here in your X Factors. Thank you for your super chat. I greatly appreciate that. We have one last super chat here. We've ended the first period 12-4 shots on goal for your Toronto Maple Leafs. 1-0 on the scoreboard. 2 wins away from the Stanley Cup final. From hoisting the Stanley Cup. What am I talking about? We are in the Stanley Cup final. We have a super chat from Cassie. You don't need to know. Just joined and my ears got blasted by music. Well, if there's another goal expect Ole to be hurt again. There's icing to start the second. Minnesota's going to have a nice little face-off here right next to the goalie. I like this angle. That's a good angle. We win the face-off, thankfully. Tim says, yeah, with draft, EA doesn't explain it at all. They don't. They don't. That's one thing about EA and the way this... Oh, someone said, can I boost my mic? I can do that. We got a shot on goal here from the Leafs. How's this? Let me see. How's this now? I do tend to get loud, so I don't like the mic being too loud, but I've boosted it for you at the request of the chat. 2 more super chats we need to get to. Tim says, yeah, gems with the draft. EA doesn't explain it at all. Yeah, that's kind of how gems work. You want to draft your gems. You want to go out all out of your way to get a pick and draft your gem somewhere in the area before someone else takes it, because there's a chance that your scouts nailed somebody and they picked him out of the draft who's going to like have a crazy high potential, but you successfully selected them in the 3rd round. So draft your gems, look at your scouts. They are diamonds in the rough. They're like if you were the Dallas Stars and every 2nd round pick is Wyatt Johnston or Jason Robinson or any big name defenseman that they've drafted over the years late in the draft. It's like getting those guys. Girthy Bettman has one hell of a name, and Ryan Hartman scores to tie up the game.
I really love the fight for position
We
here.
don't like that. The crowd is booing. We don't like that at all. Girthy Bettman says, I found a 3rd round gem that had a play style like Gretzky. Gosh darn. That is some good scouting by your scouts. That is how you want to find gems. Here's a turnover. Riley picks it up, though. Hey, Puck Guy 14 says, first of all, thank you for the super chat. The super chats have been pouring in today, and I really appreciate it, everybody. Thank you. I wish my stream deck was fully functional right now. I could hit all the buttons, but I'm trying to scroll through and hit the buttons I have. I do have the Crab People button ready to go. Thank you for all the super chats. Puck Guy 14 says, Crab People unite. See ya at the draft in Vegas. No, this year we are not. SDPN is not attending the draft in Vegas. Every year for the last 2 years, at least, we've been to the draft. But this season, we won't be. We won't be at the draft this year because it's a decentralized draft at the Sphere thing. Like, it's gonna be. It's something we're skipping it this year. We're doing more content around it back here is kind of the idea. We're going to have some awesome live streams all around the draft, all around free agency and all that stuff, but it's not going to work out with like Steve's baby, to be honest. Like, it's a busy time of year, and for him to just take off and, you know, have a kid and all the stuff we've done throughout the season, it'd be a little tough to make the draft work this year. So we won't be in Vegas for that. But I hope you have a good time. Puck Guy 14. Eriksson Ek with a nice shot. Great save by Sammy. OEL over to Kaprizov. Great save, Sammy. You absolutely love to see it. Sammy finally covers the puck. And we have a face-off here. Almost halfway through the second period. It is 1-1 on the scoreboard. It is 2-1 in the series for the Toronto Maple Leafs, who are 2 wins away from hoisting the Stanley Cup in the 2026 playoffs. William Nylander comes up the wing here. Over to Austin Matthews, who's stopped by Wallstead. Mitch Marner was there, ready to go if there was a rebound, but there was not one. CJ Cable, yes, CJ Cable is definitely not new to this. I did adjust the sliders pregame. We adjusted the penalties. We adjusted the time This is a good pace of play that we have here. I think we've nailed the settings to where everything is balanced and evens. The shots even look reasonable. The score looks reasonable. We are having a great time here on this sim, and hopefully it ends in victory. Toronto Maple Leafs win the faceoff. Marner takes it over to Riley, who gets tackled. That's a penalty. Speaking of penalties, here is our first one of the game. It will go against old man Blake Wheeler, who is still trucking, playing for the Minnesota Wild right now in the Stanley Cup final. And he gets 2 minutes for tripping on Mo Riley, who he just tackled to the ground. You can't do that. That is 2 minutes for you can't do that, Mr. Blake Wheeler. Let's see if your Leafs can capitalize here on this power play opportunity. Justin, I will get to your super chat momentarily. Thank you for it. But there is a power play opportunity and a chance by the Leafs that we must focus on here. There, the Wild do get the puck, but it's a turnover again. It's going to bounce in. No! It doesn't bounce in. It goes right over the side of the net. Oh, my goodness. I thought it was going to bounce off Walston and then in. Here, we're pressuring. Oh, what a save! Oh, my goodness. What a save by Walston. We still got it, though, and that's a goal by Morgan Riley. Mr. Mo makes it 2-1 for the Leafs. Let me see if I can find Olay. I don't know if I can, but we need an Olay right now. Oh, look at that slap shot. Beautiful, beautiful goal there by Morgan Riley. And here is Olay. Hell yes. Ladies and gentlemen, your Toronto Maple Leafs are indeed up 2-1 in this game and 2-1 in the series. We had a super chat. We had a super chat that I must get to. Justin Wisher says, Jesse, once you hoist the Stanley Cup with the Leafs, would you consider doing an expansion draft team? Apologies if you have already done this. So, fun fact, we have done an expansion draft stream. It was 2 years ago. I believe in the 2022 season is when we did that. It was a brief one. We only went one season, but it wasn't expansion draft. I shouldn't say we did an expansion. We did a fantasy draft team where you could pick from everybody in the league. So it was like a true all 32 teams are expansion teams, and we did a fantasy draft that way. We ended up winning the Stanley Cup with our fantasy team, but it was kind of like, oh, that wasn't goalie interference? What was that? Max Pacioretty was just shoving Sammy into the net. What the hell was that?
He had his eyes on the puck. He tracked it perfectly.
Oh, no. Sammy just misplayed it. Oh, this is nonsense. Oh, my goodness. Why didn't Sammy just cover the puck? Okay, so the puck sneaks through Sammy here. I get that. You know, shot from in close. A lot of power on it. Sammy can't squeeze it. Puck's rolling. Cover the puck! Oh. Oh. Oh, no. All right, it's 2-2.
Set to position, James. I thought he
2-2 on the board.
But he didn't get it all.
2-2 on the board. I guess I'll get back to the super chat. Let's bring out the snail. Snail's going to bring us some good luck, hopefully. Let's bring out the panda. Panda's going to bring out some good luck. Playoff Sammy strikes again. That's from Ryan. Yes! No goal! They're calling it back.
See if this is going to be a rule, the kicking
They're
motion.
calling it back. For what? For what? Oh, kick. They say Austin kicked it with the back of his foot. Come on, that's a goal. No!
It's a big thing that you don't want to hurt the messenger while the official's coming out on the ice, and this is going to be a confirmed call. It's going to stand.
They said Austin kicked it with the back heel of his foot. What is he, Pele? Austin Ronaldinho, apparently, gets called for kicking the puck with the back of his skate. That's not a kicking motion. Oh, boo. No. We don't like this call. That's not a distinct kicking motion. He does this little shove here, but that's just to get the puck. He's trying to pass the puck to his stick. This stick's right there. He's trying to go skate to stick. He's not trying to kick it into the net. Boo. Let's get back to
Yeah, it's
this.
just a disallowed goal.
All right. Everybody's saying 100% a kick. Clear kick. That was a kick. No. No, not a kick. Let's get back to the super chats. Justin said, Jesse, once you hoist the Stanley Cup with the Leafs, would you consider doing an expansion draft team? Apologies if you have already done this. I think that's the next step. We add the 33rd team to the league if we end up finishing this franchise mode. If we win the Stanley Cup this season, don't get it twisted. We are going for back-to-back cups. We are not ending this franchise mode. We will keep it running until we run out of years to lift the Stanley Cup. But I think it would be very fun to do an expansion draft where we had the 33rd team. We've done it before where we have the 32 and we do a fantasy draft with the whole league, but we have not done expansion draft. Justin, I think that's a great idea. That's a great save by Sammy. Other super chat we have to get to from Tim. Oh, that's a great save, Sammy, once again. Can I make a request for next game? Can the Leafs play in their 2014 Classic jersey? Same as the one behind you. Best jersey ever. Let's go Leafs. If we win this game, Tim, because you super chatted $5, I think that earns you. Oh.
Well, talk about a friendly ping right there.
Oh, yeah, it's all about the bounces, isn't it, James? And you
That's
gotta get the
not-
right one, and that
It's
one
not a
is
pretty
in his
goal.
favor. So much of the goaltending position is tracking the puck and trying to get the sight lines, James. And with only one player in front, you might lose it for a second. But if you out-battle and out-will the person in front, you're going to find it. Unfortunately, this puck, it beats him clean.
A shot beats Ilya Samsonov clean, as the commentators just said. Late in the second period, Marco Rossi with his 4th of the playoffs makes it 3-2 for the Minnesota Wild. Leafs were up 1-0 in this game. We were up 2-1 in this game, and suddenly 2 unanswered goals by the Minnesota Wild have made it 3-2. Oh, nice little chance there for the Leafs. 5.8 seconds left in the second period. Down 1 goal. Let's start this comeback here. Let's get this comeback going. They don't get a shot off. Yes, they do. Morgan Riley. Morgan Riley scores. Morgan Riley. Morgan, his second of the game. With tenths of a second left. Tenths of a second left in the period. Morgan Riley from Mitch Marner makes it 3-3. It is all square once again. Mitch Marner partner with eyes in the back of his head. My goodness, throws it out to the middle of the ice, and thank goodness Morgan Rielly was there. And we tie things up. My goodness, this game is good. Shots are 25-20 in favor of your Toronto Maple Leafs. Justin. Tim. I keep calling you Justin because Justin had the super chat before you. Tim wants us to wear the 2014 Classic jersey for the next game. I don't know if we can change jerseys. We've been successful in the regular jerseys. If we win, we're for sure not changing it. If we lose, I'll consider it. I will consider it if we lose. Tim, I got your name right this time. We got another super chat from Girthy Bettman. Shout out Girthy Bettman one time. Girthy Bettman writes, scab people, scab people. Thank you, Girthy Bettman. Thank you. Morgan Rielly legacy game from Michael. Yeah, this is we're going to talk about, could you imagine? Sometimes I play this game with you guys, chat, and I think about, like, if this was real life. This is so real to me, but, like, if this was real life and we could build narratives like Game 3 of the Cup final, Game 4 of the Cup final, the Morgan Rielly game. He puts up a hattie, leads a comeback, 4-3 Leafs, something magical, you know? This team on the screen, not the real life Leafs. These are who the guys you got to believe in. We got 20 minutes till Steve Dangle takes the stage here. He's going to be streaming Panthers-Rangers coming up at the top of the hour. But until then, you are stuck with me as we watch the 2026 Stanley Cup Final. We watch your Toronto Maple Leafs 2 wins away and a Noah Gregor goal, possibly to make them 1 win away from the Stanley Cup trophy. Noah Gregor. Noah Gregor redemption arc after a terrible first game of this series. Noah Gregor redemption goal in game number 4. The Leafs, your Toronto Maple Leafs, are up 4-3 with 14:05 left in the third period. Oh, there's a great save by Sammy. Addison came in on a rush. He's looking to the sky. He can't believe that one didn't go through. Oh, look at that. He looks to the heavens. He looks to the rafters for an answer. Addison stopped by Sammy. Beautiful save. What a game. These Leafs, you must believe in them. They are a team of destiny. We have built a great squad. Phil, does that Noah Gregor goal get him back on the team? I think so. I think Noah Gregor, we will bring out the pizza box. Pizza box is here, everybody. We have on AGM Pizza Box, it says trade Gregor. These are our off-season plans. Trade Noah Gregor. He's officially redeemed himself. AGM Pizza Box. Please cross off trade Noah Gregor. He is no longer being traded. Almost got another one there on Wallstead. We got Tim super chatting again. Oh, nice one-timer there by Matthews. Stopped, however, by the goaltender. Fair, but a compromise. If Willie gets the last goal of this game, you and the team wear the 14 jersey next game, regardless of who wins. Deal. 100% deal. What was that? Was that stopped by Sammy? Where's the puck? That was kind of a weird stoppage. What happened with the puck there? Tim, that's 100% a deal. I wouldn't even say like the last goal is, if Willie scores at all this game, if you call it and Willie scores this game, I will put the 14 jersey. Oh, the puck went into the stands. You rarely see that in the game. It happens so much in real life, and EA hasn't put this into the game enough. A shot deflected over the glass. Like, that rarely happens in the game in The Sims. So I'm surprised they haven't, like, triggered that animation more, because it happens in real life all the time. Like, every other shot, I dropped the controller. Every other shot goes into the stands. It feels like in real life. Tim, you got a deal. If Willie scores a goal at all this game, the Toronto Maple Leafs will wear the jersey behind me in the next game. That's a deal. Steve Dangle's Mighty Roar super chats. First of all, thank you. Thank you very much. Just Be Leaf, Brad Marchand. That's all Steve Dangle's Mighty Roar wanted to write with their super chat. Just Be Leaf, Brad Marchand. We are 9:44 away from being one win away from lifting the cup. We are so very close to this thing. My goodness. Zuccarello coming up the middle. Hartman, Rossi, stopped. Matthews gets the puck. Here comes Willie. Over to Marner. Marner does a little dangle. Pass it, Marner, over to Matthews. Matthews around the back, tries to set it out front. Can't find anybody with the puck. Ryan Hartman, nice save, Sammy. You love to see it. You love to see it. Oh, power play Leafs. Slashing on Marco Rossi. That is a slashing penalty on Marco Rossi with 7:39 remaining in the hockey game. We have a chance here to put this thing to bed. This is the moment. Vito Lamb says, Jesse, any chance Steve/Adam joins us next stream? Funny you should say that, because I feel like we're getting too far ahead of ourselves. Vito Lamb, we're getting a little too far ahead of ourselves, but I think if we are on the brink of hoisting the Stanley Cup, we're going to have to do a special stream. We're going to have to bring in some friends to help us out watch these games. And watch this team. What a one-timer that's saved by Wallstead, who just potentially kept Minnesota in this hockey game. We're going to have some special stuff going on if this team does wind up getting one win away from a Stanley Cup. So hold on to that thought, Vito. I'll have more on that a little later on. Another super chat. Thank you guys for the super chats, man. That means a lot. Oh, Sammy, save. Breakaway. Sammy saves it. What a save. Beautiful stuff. One-timer there. Monahan can't get it by Wallstead. Minnesota's dominated while shorthanded right now, but they are clearly playing with a sense of urgency, being down 4-3 in game number 4 with the potential of going down 3-1 in the series. T.A. Neiman writes, can you share your settings if you have time? Yes. I will gladly share my settings because the settings I've been using today, they've been phenomenal. I feel like every penalty has been like reasonable. We've had a reasonable amount of penalties. The shots on goal are like pretty realistic right now. We're sitting at 31-27. I don't hate that. If you want to go a little higher, if you want to go a little lower, that makes a lot of sense. Hits make a lot of sense. We've had 2 power plays now for us. None for Minnesota, but like that happens. I could definitely see more or less happening, and we have a reasonable score, 4-3. Plus, the game does not take too long to sim. So after this game, I'll go through my settings if you want to copy these settings for any sim games, franchise modes that you guys want to do on your own in your game of NHL 24. I can definitely do that for you. All right, 3 seconds left here. We're not going to get anything going on this entire power play. It was a complete waste of time. Minnesota dominated offensively on our power play, which sucks. But we're up by 1 with 5 minutes left. Let's hope that Minnesota does not break hearts here tonight in Toronto. We are at home in Scotiabank Arena. They're hosting a Stanley Cup game for the first time, and we are going back on the penalty power play. Here we go. That's a penalty on Dylan Sandberg. Hell yeah. 2 minutes to go here. Another 2 minutes for us to put this thing to bed. William Nylander took a nasty hit. But it was a penalty. And let's see if we can get this power play goal to seal things for the Leafs. Morgan Rielly catches the puck. But Minnesota gets the break anyway. Sammy can't squeeze it. That was a couple nervous seconds there. My goodness. Tyler Durden says, charging, they don't call that in the playoffs. I don't know if you can hear the Go Leafs Go chants. I can hear in my headphones from the game. Beautiful stuff there from the home crowd. As the game winds down and the Leafs inch closer and closer to another win in the Stanley Cup final. Thank you to all of you that are here right now hanging out with us on Twitch, on Twitter, or on YouTube. Head over to SDPN's YouTube channel at the top of the hour. Justin Fisher just donated 5 memberships, and your Leafs are less than 5 minutes away from another victory. Thank you, Justin Fisher. My goodness. That is greatly appreciated. Thank you, Justin. Thank you. 3 minutes to go here. There's still 45 seconds left in our power play, which we have done nothing with. There's Austin. Austin with a nice wrister. Walston with the save. 10 minutes to go. EC Iggy, hey. That's how we know you're a member of the Crab people. I can't bring myself to cheer on the Leafs, but I can cheer for Jesse. Thank you. I appreciate that. Here we go. Steve Dangle comes up at the top of the hour. He's streaming Florida, New York, sidecast of the game. Stick around here on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, it'll automatically kick you over to his stream. If you're watching on Twitch or Twitter, head over to youtube.com/SDPN to check out Steve Dangle and his sidecast stream. We are 2 minutes and 50 seconds away from potentially doing a thing. And that thing is getting one game closer to the Stanley Cup. Mitch Marner, dipsy doodle, over to Austin, over to Willie. Mitch, Willie, Austin, seal it, bang! Stanley Cup, 1 win away. No way, boys. Hell yeah, let's go. My goodness! The big 3! The core 3 come coming through in the clutch. I can feel it. I can feel how close we truly are. We're one win away from the Stanley Cup. Finally doing the thing. We're about to go up 3-1 in this series if we can close out the next 1 minute and 35 seconds of this puppy. Austin, Mitch, Willie, the big guys showing up in big moments. This is everything we've ever wanted out of the Toronto Maple Leafs. We are getting it here tonight in Scotiabank Arena in Toronto. This is what dreams are made of. It's brought a tear to my eye. Seeing Willie out there scoring a cup final goal in the clutchest of moments. Ladies and gentlemen, we just need one more. We just need one more. That's it. That is all she wrote for tonight. Wow. Patrick, thank you for the super chat. The super chat says fired for living higher Blake. If I could build the roster in NHL 24, I could and I would. There it is, that goal right there. They just had the replay of it. That Willie goal is the one that sealed it. The Noah Gregor goal is the one that ends up being the game winner. Your 3 stars of the night are Austin Matthews is your 3rd star. Your 2nd star, let's get him on the screen, William Nylander, who sealed it, who put this thing to bed, laid the big hits, took some big hits, and Morgan Riley, 2 goals tonight. Morgan, Captain Mo, with a huge 2-goal game in game number 4, so that your Toronto Maple Leafs could go up 3-1 in the series and be 1 win away from the Stanley Cup, from lifting it. Now is the hard part. This thing's not over, ladies and gentlemen. That's the thing. It's only just begun, because the hard part here is closing it out. As we get serious, the Dancing Animal Squad wants to come out here and just lighten the mood a little. But the hard part here is closing it out and getting that last win. I want to read some of your super chats here. Girthy Bettman, nothing like a Leafs 3-1 series lead. Ha 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 ha! Ha ha! Yes, Girthy Bettman. Steve Dangle's mighty roar. It was 3-1 against another team that started with M. Yes, it is 3-1 in the series, but these Leafs are different. These are not your Toronto Maple Leafs. These are the crap people's Toronto Maple Leafs, and they are different. They get 3-1 leads and they close it out, hopefully, against Minnesota in our next stream. They're 1 win away from lifting it. We're 1 win away from doing the thing. Let's see next time if we can get that thing done. We also had a super chat from Tim who says, did I call it or what? Tim, we're wearing this jersey next game. You said Willie was getting a goal. You said he was getting the last goal of the game. You called it. You bet me we'd wear the jerseys. So we're wearing the old 2014 Winter Classic jersey for the next stream. You called it, Tim. I will live up to that promise. Well done calling it. Quickly before we go here, Steve Dangle's coming up in 4 minutes. I want to show you my settings. We got a lot of requests for the settings that I used in this game because they were so smooth. That was a very smooth, realistic looking game with some good sim results. So this is what I used in terms of the settings on the rules. I dropped penalties to 1 to 4, and as you can see, we still got 3 penalties, even though it was 1 to 4. Fighting's 1 to 2. Period length was 6 minutes. 6 minutes is like sweet spot of a good sim watch. I love 6 minutes. All-star difficulty. Difficulty doesn't really matter because it's CPU versus CPU, so there's no difficulties with your opponent. So that's everything there. Penalty time scaling, I go 6 to 6. So any penalty exists in real time. So it is 2 minutes on the board when you have a penalty. It actually takes 2 minutes, and it isn't the sim time of the 6 minutes. Coincidental penalty time scaling is 5 out of 6. So it's about like a minute 45, a minute 50 when you have a 4-on-4 penalty. So there you go. Those are those settings for the gameplay settings. I also tuned down the gameplay sliders of the penalties. So by default, all of these penalties are on 50 of 100. I set them all to 30 of 100 because the balance is a lot better. This is all available on demand. If I went a little too fast for you, just go watch this stream back and you can copy all those settings there. Also, injury settings. If you're interested in the franchise mode injury settings, I turned down the injury settings as well. You can see them. I think I went by them on the rules. If I didn't go by them on the rules here, it was on the other category. But injuries, oh, there they are. Injuries on, but they're also turned down in the other, I think it's the gameplay sliders or the GM mode sliders. But yeah, those are all my settings. Steve Dangles here is coming up in 2 minutes. Did the Toronto Marlies capture the Calder Cup? I don't believe they did. No, they still have games to play. The Toronto Marlies went up 3-0 in their series and have officially lost the next 2. They're on the verge of not doing too good. Texas is on the verge of forcing a Game 7 against the Marlies after being down 3-0, which is one hell of a thing to happen. Next stream will be Thursday. We might push it to Saturday. Listen to the Steve Dangle podcast tomorrow, and you'll get an official time of when our stream comes to you for the potential Stanley Cup clinching game. It might move to Saturday ahead of that Rangers-Panthers game because we have to do some special stuff and get some more people on this stream if in case the Leafs actually do hoist the Stanley Cup. So look out for that. Listen to tomorrow's Steve Dangle podcast. I'll drop in there the next time I'll be streaming this series, or just look out for like when it pops up in your feed, you know, when you see the scheduled stream. That's it for me tonight. Thank you for being here. You all are so lovely. Olay's going to play one last time. I don't know if I can get the animals out here. The stream deck's not pressing right now, but crap people, thank you. I appreciate it. There's Austin. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to be watching this here right now. And I appreciate you for that. Good night from Toronto. Steve Dangles coming up. You don't need to go anywhere. This live will end. It'll kick you right over there. We're 1 win away, baby! 1 more win to finally doing the thing. Good night.